and hopefully make that world continue to come alive and be a full expansive universe, really, with many planets and everything else. So that's really enabling. That is really what Metagravity is about as a company.
Awesome, awesome. And so you're talking about Metagravity and about the tech that you guys are building, and well, people are actually being able to experience it right now with 130 people live on the same server. But just for us to understand, can you explain us, like we are five, how Metagravity tech works, and why is it different from other similar technologies?
Yeah, sure. So if you look at multiplayer games today, the technology is very much designed to help you scale up to like one server instance. And if you look at any sort of shared reality that players have in a game world, that's really just what one server can handle. And so if you even in games, so I'm sure you've all played various multiplayer games where the player counts might be anything from 8 to 16 to maybe 32. There are some games like Fortnite that get that number up to 100. And then there are MMA games where the premise is that there are far more players in that world. But really, if you look at the way they've designed MMOs, the designers are very careful to avoid any real gameplay that involves more than tens of people. You know, if you look at a game like World of Warcraft, there's never really any gameplay reason for more than maybe 40 to 80 people in any sort of single shared reality. And then they instance the different parts of the world. And some MMOs like World of Warcraft do a kind of streaming load when you move between zones. But you know, they create this illusion that it's a shared world in some cases, but really not. And you can see that in the gameplay. There's a reason why you can't go and do something in the world that changes the world, because if you started allowing that, players might build like little communities and might build villages and towns and cities, and these are gameplay scenarios that today's technology, multiplayer technology, can't handle. And what Metagravity is really founded to do is to remove those limits. So the idea is that you can have an expansive world, and you can have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, eventually millions of players in a shared reality. And when you enable that sort of capability, you change what designers are able to think about. They can really think of the entire world as the canvas, and the game mechanics becomes ways for these players to come together and interact. And Star Atlas is a really interesting example, because the goal here is to build essentially an entire sort of universe, spacefaring universe of civilizations, and that's a goal that can take you to infinity, really, over time. So it demands a completely new kind of technology where your world isn't you just sharded into small contained realities, but rather supports a single expansive reality, and players have the freedom to come together as and how they see fit. And this is very much a dynamic world where players can sort of mold and shape and evolve the world based on their gameplay interactions with other players and the rest of the game. So really enabling that, Metagravity builds that back-end network technology that makes lots of small worlds act as one gigantic world in a very seamless sort of way. So that is the tech we're building.
Such a game changer
Yeah.
for the gamers, man. It's actually it just betters the whole experience. At least myself, I had everyone who played any multiplayer or any MMOs has experienced that of like not being able to have all the different small experiences in the same server, or having to experience a ton of loading screens